everyone, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing really well today. So you are joining me in the afternoon. It's about 4 o'clock, the sun is starting to set, you can see the sunlight coming in. I thought it would be really nice to just share a lovely, peaceful, cozy evening with you guys. I've got a nice evening in store. I just bought some soup and some gorgeous crusty bread, and I plan on making some kind of pear crumble to use some of the pears we picked off the tree yesterday. And tonight is the night we finally are gonna do our pumpkins. I've had such a nice day today. I went to see some family and I did some pumpkin carving with my little niece. She's only 3 and it was the best thing. But me and Dom have got our own pumpkins to do tonight, so that is the kind of rough plan for the night. I love having fun seasonal nights like this because they're more special because you don't get to do them very often. So I think what the first thing I want to do is I might set about making this crumble, then while that's cooking I can eat my soup and bread because I'm pretty hungry. Yeah, I think we'll do that as a plan. Welcome to the kitchen. So I've got this giant bucket of, well, it's not a bucket, it's a plant pot of pears. I took a few to our family earlier on just to try and use some up. I was going to give some to the neighbours, but I'm also just going to see how many I'm left with once I'm finished doing what I'm doing. I think I might try and make quite a lot. We'll see how many pears I can be bothered to peel and process, but they're quite big, some of them, so I've just been going through them to check none of them are marked, and if they are, I think I'm still just going to cut round that and then see if the rest of the pear is okay, because I don't want to waste food. And then yeah, just kind of make some kind of a, I want to call it soup, sounds gross, like a pear stew. I am not selling this. Dom said to me the other day, okay, never go into food advertising because I just do a terrible job of explaining, but like I wanted to say sloppy mess, and none of these are descriptions for what we want to make. A pear compote, like a little, basically I'm going to heat the pears up in a pan until they turn to mush. However that works, that's more elegant, then we'll go with that. But yeah, that's the kind of gist. And then I've got a crumble topping recipe from Dom's mum. She makes apple crumble all the time and it's always amazing and delicious, and it's very simple. I find when you want a recipe and you go onto Google, it's like almond flaked crumble crust and it's like, I ain't got almonds. So this is just going to be flour, butter and sugar, so very simple, basic. And then I'm just going to put pears, and I might add some cinnamon and maybe some ginger into the pear stew. We're just winging it, okay, let's see how it turns out. I've got these cute little dishes. I got 2 of these, so I was thinking of making a lot of the pear stew and then just making 2 actual crumbles for today, because I can freeze the rest of the pear slop that I make and then I can, you know, make more of these going forward. But I don't think that the topping will freeze well, though it might do. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments below if you're more experienced in this than I am. But let's get going, shall we? I'm just going to process all the pears and then we'll move on to the next step. I feel good today. I had a bad day yesterday and I'm happy to be able to film when I'm feeling in the mood, and it's ages since I've baked anything. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this, I really am. Rory's come to say hello. Hello, you little man. He hates being picked up. Look at him, he's like a polar bear. Can you believe how big he is? Look at you go, you're so big. You can't come on here because I'm cooking, baking. Baking is more like a science experiment, I always think. That's why I'm not such a fan, because it's all very precise, whereas when I'm cooking I just throw things in and just like use my intuition. If you do that with baking, it tends to not go too well. I don't think I can go too far wrong with this recipe though. It's usually like cakes and buns that it's like very precise measurements, but I'm gonna stop talking and get cooking.
Clouds roll by, glittering. I never thought they would let me in. A fading light, a distant
of an impromptu trip outside because Sir Echo decided he wanted to come out and started squeaking at the door. So I brought this little guy out and I just usually take him for a walk because he's not really that fussed about actually going on the grass. Sorry about that. Actually going on the grass. Whereas Echo, he loves to just go and explore. Whereas Rory's much happier to just be held. The sun's starting to set now. The garden looks so much better since sorting it all out the other day. Feels like a garden again. Ooh, that's a big pigeon, Rory. That's a big pigeon.
Right on. The sky is grey, I guess that's what it takes.
That was an incredibly messy experience, but I filled my pan and I've still got loads and loads of pears left, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these now. I might just have to chop these up as well once I'm finished baking. But I'm going to stew these, and while it's doing that I'm going to make the crumble topping, and then hopefully it shouldn't take too long, maybe like 10 minutes, something like that. I'm just going to put them on a really low heat, and then once they're stewed I'm going to add the spices, I think.
Do you feel our love is the only thing that is real? It's like a heart with nothing to conceal, nothing more. Lesson learned, a slight state of hope that you will return. It's what I got, and then the summer turned into fall. Waited here just for you, caught in the moment of finally getting through, fading like a distant call. I do not remember those days at all, but I will never be here if it wasn't true. So let me be the one to hold you. Do you feel our love is the only thing that is real? It's like a heart with nothing to conceal, nothing more.
Okay, so they're in the oven now. I'm gonna have tea. Dom's got a pizza that's in the oven already, and while I was at Asda I felt inspired to have some delicious autumn themed soup, and I didn't have time to make it myself today, so I thought I would get a butternut squash soup. I think I'll probably have half of this carton maybe. We'll see how much it is because usually the serving sizes are tiny. Yeah, so it's half, but it might be quite filling. And I got some sourdough bread. I've been trying to limit bread, but I find sourdough digests really well. And I love these like bloomer style ones from the supermarket. So yeah, a few slices of bread and then some pumpkin soup. And then in 15 minutes, our pear crumble is going to be ready, and I've got some Alpro custard to go with that, so we're going all out tonight. And then it's pumpkin time, the sun is setting. I love this time of year. I think the clocks are about to go back tomorrow, forward, which way do they go?
They go back tonight.
They go back tonight. So that means we get an extra hour in bed. So when you're watching this, I hope you enjoyed your extra hour. But I do love this time of year when I'm just cooking and I can see the sun setting. We usually get really gorgeous sunsets here in Yorkshire, where I'm from at this time of year. I usually notice them so much more in autumn and just get to appreciate them. It's sad when the nights draw in because going for walks and stuff, it always ends up being in the dark because even by like 6 o'clock it's pitch black. But I do like this time of year for a different feeling. In the summer you can just go for a walk at whatever time you like, whereas I feel like this time of year makes you cherish things so much more. So anyway, I'm gonna stop being philosophical and eat my soup.
It's like a heart with nothing to conceal, nothing more. Lesson learned, a slight state of hope that you will return. It's what I got, and then the summer turned into fall. You are like gold dust over me, just like an angel setting me free. Where are you now? Do you feel safe? I don't need an answer, just need some space.
We've got our pumpkins. I got the smaller one and Dom has got this giant one.
Bag.
I think I might have mentioned this. I definitely mentioned it in the video when we got the pumpkins. It was so hard to find a small, normal shaped pumpkin out of the entire field. It was pretty much these two or bust.
These are neither small nor normal shape.
No. So I was looking on Google. I just literally put in pumpkin carving and I found this one and I just can't not. I think it's going to show up for you guys. It's a cat. It wouldn't be right if I didn't do it. So I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. It's going to be a very round cat. This is the front of its face. But we'll see what happens. I have faith. This is my third pumpkin I've carved today. I think I mentioned I went to see my brother's family earlier on and I was pumpkin carving with my little niece. She's about to be 3 and it was just so much fun. But we did very basic ones like heart emoji, smiley face and just a normal pumpkin. So yeah, let's see. Hopefully it goes well because there's only one shot with a pumpkin.
Don't let me darken your front door. That is not what I came here for. Do you still carry all that?
I can't visualise it because they don't look right. They look like they look like two croissants.
Yes, they do.
On your shoulder, everything we fear will go away. You said it's a promise. I said that I doubt that. I'm your only reason to stay. Darkness has robbed me of my sight.
Yes, give me a mouth.
In the light. Are you doing well? Do you feel fine? Don't need an answer, just need a sign. I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling good.
Winner!
Story of my life. I've literally just taken all of its insides out and Dom's completely finished, so
I've got a candle, we're lit, we're good to go.
it's good to go.
Wait till you see this mean beast.
But you got to show them at the end when I'm finished. We'll do a grand reveal.
A grand reveal.
I know you're all just shaking.
Itchy.
You can't wait. Oh god. Okay, right, here we go.
Feeling like I
done. I was just saying to Dom then, when I was younger, I love art and drawing, and I used to really pride myself on pumpkins. Try to put less stress on myself these days for things like that. But I would spend hours in the kitchen carving away, being so proud of what I'd done. No one was allowed in the kitchen till it was done, and then I'd have to turn off all the lights and do a grand reveal, a bit like what I'm doing for you guys now. So enjoy. That's so good.
That's funny. I feel like mine is rocking backwards. If it was like this.
Yeah, put a stone under and then.
Yeah. Those little ears.
I wish you could see his ears better. I don't know how you. Rory's come to investigate. Look, it's you, Rory. It's you in pumpkin
God, don't let him
form.
set his tail on fire or something.
Can't get it in. It's fine. Go on, down you get. Good boy. Big long stretch. Take your time.
Go, just let it be. Why don't you be you and I'll be me? That's what it took to open my eyes. Don't need
Are you having a nosy echo? Hey, it's you in pumpkin form. It is. Are they so interesting? Hey? Oh, I need my phone. Okay, so I asked you guys if you had any questions for me on Instagram, just to end this video, because it's been a bit of a random one, if I'm going to be honest, but I thought it would be good. It's been a while since I've done a Q&A, so let's dig into these questions. I'll just answer a few. Any that I don't get round to, I'll probably pop in next week's video. Where am I? So the first question is, what is something you want to add to your life in the near future? It can be anything. It's a good question. In the near future, if I'm honest, I'm just quite happy. So what I would like to add is more of the same, I guess. I've been getting new subscribers recently on YouTube, which is such a blessing, because it's just been a long time coming for me, you know, getting back. I think because my channel is so old now, videos don't get pushed out as much. So when you guys like and engage and comment, it really does make a difference, and that makes a difference on how much I earn. So all of that is good. So the momentum we're going at right now, I would love to keep going with that. I actually want to sit down at some point and do a new vision board. I'm kind of tempted to do one now, but then the new year is quite close. But yeah, that would help me get more of a vision, because I feel like at the minute I'm happy, it's a nice place to be honest, because so much of my life I've spent wanting for things or longing for things, and it's good to know what you're aiming for, but it's not good to focus on it too much so that you're unhappy in the present moment. So I feel like I've got more balance with that nowadays. When and why did you start living slowly and intentionally? I think I've mentioned this in a video, so I will leave it linked down below. I don't want to repeat myself too much for anyone who watches these videos to the end, which is usually people that watch most of my videos. But I started living slowly when I was working nights, and I just burnt myself out, complete to a standstill, and it really made me change my opinion. Then we bought this house, and just having the house and enjoying being in the house, it just slowly all started to make sense to me, and it all started to click, and it was nice to finally be able to put a name to what I was living, which was slow living and intentional living. And yeah, I just love it, and I think it is a life-changing sort of idea to live by. What would be the 3 things you would take to a desert island? I feel like instantly my brain said Echo, Rory and Dom. Would that be the wrong decisions? I feel like that would just be it. We'd be a family and we would just struggle together. But in terms of surviving, probably not such a great idea, but I mean, what can I do? What would you say works for you when you're trying to combat overwhelm? So if you're on my Instagram, yesterday I posted I was feeling stressed, overwhelmed, just really, just not in a good mood at all. I was trying to film this video yesterday and I just couldn't get going. I just couldn't do it. I was feeling really stressed, thinking I'm going to be on a treadmill tomorrow, but I just didn't feel well. I just didn't feel good, and I didn't want to put that energy into a video. So I I just turned my computer off, turned everything off. I went upstairs and I just watched YouTube for the rest of the evening, had a nice early night, drank loads of water, and you know what? I feel worlds apart today. So that's what I do. I just take, it's called, like, for me, it's like a mental health day. I just do nothing because that's the only way that you're going to get, it's not the physical exhaustion, it's the mental exhaustion. And for me, that is the only way to combat that. And overwhelm for me is more of a mental battle than a physical battle. How do you deal with anxiety and doubt even when life is going down a path that you like? So for me, anxiety is present in my daily life and it can bubble up from time to time. And for me, anxiety just means I just feel so overwhelmed, I can't do anything. And so I like to say to myself, anxiety equals excitement. I'm obviously excited about something. It might, sometimes if it's something that's worrying me or like stressing me out, it's because it's something that's going to make me grow, and that is a good thing. So I try and kind of switch that, and that's something that I learned from my own therapist, and it really does serve me. Anxiety equals excitement most of the time, you know, because it's putting me outside of my comfort zone, and that is where true growth happens. So that is how I do that. And I just try and give myself the love that I need in that moment, and, you know, doing a lot of breath work and leaning more on like my external allies like essential oils, meditation, yoga, walking more, doing more exercise. They're all the things that help me get out of my head, which is sometimes what I need when I am just struggling with overthinking. One of the things on an evening that really helps is to, if Dom comes to bed at the same time as me, I'll get him to like tickle my head, which is a luxury that I have, but it helps me to feel my body rather than thinking about my thoughts. If he's not there, then I'll listen to sort of like a sleep meditation, and that does a similar thing for me. Do you practice yoga still? Funny you say that. Yesterday I actually did bed yoga for the first time, but no, not really. If I'm honest, I find it too repetitive, and that bores me. I think when I first started yoga, I didn't really know what it was, and I enjoyed it. You know, it was relaxing, it was great to stretch, but now I do prefer other forms of exercise. If I'm feeling tight, I will do yoga, but I do more of like an intuitive style of yoga where I know all the stretches already, so I just do my own thing. But doing the constant routines, I don't know, there's something about it that I just don't enjoy very much. Maybe one day I'll get back into it, but that's my stance on it right now. How to improve love in a relationship after 10 years? I love this question because it's something that I'm really invested in, because I think long-term relationships are something that aren't spoken about very much. I'm sorry if you can hear Rory in the background, he's woken up on the wrong side of bed. So I watched a programme the other day on Netflix called Sex, Love and Goop, and it was really, really interesting. It was good. And one of the things I want to say before I start talking about this programme is polarity, I think, is what makes relationships work. So you've got to be kind of opposites. If you become too much of the same, that's when things start to become more of like a friendship zone rather than a relationship zone. So that's personally what I always try and keep in our relationship. But yeah, watch the Netflix programme if you are struggling with your sex life and relationship and getting that spark back. I think it could be a really useful tool for anyone who is in that zone, you know. And I think all relationships have phases like that, and like I say, just coming back to remembering why you're together, and yeah, just finding that polarity and that little spark back in your life will help as well. And just learning each other's love languages is huge. You know, learning if they like to get gifts, or if they're more of a touchy-feely kind of person. Maybe they're more of a word-based person. Knowing those things about each other and holding each other accountable to doing those things for each other is going to make you feel more special, and it's going to keep developing that love that you've got between each other. Can you share more about your book? I came across you on YouTube recently and I love it. Thank you so much. So I have written a book, and it's been a long process, I'm not gonna lie, but I am proud of what I've written and currently just editing it. So I'm hoping in the next few weeks I can get it out to you guys. I am gonna be publishing it with Amazon, so it's self-published. and you'll be able to buy it from Amazon. I'm thinking about doing an ebook version and maybe an audiobook version, but it just depends how it all goes with formatting. It's completely new to me, and it's going to be about intentional living, slow living, and just sort of my life and all of the wisdom I've gained along the way compiled into one place. And I am just so excited for you to all read it. I'm really looking forward to it. So if you want to find out when that is published, follow me on Instagram, and if not, then I will let you guys know on here when it does go to be published. So it's just bizarre. I did the front cover the other day and I was holding it in my hand like, I'm ready for you to be here now. It's like my little baby that I've just been nurturing for the last few months, and I'm ready now. When are you going to start your Christmas content? I know there's so many YouTubers now that have already started Christmas, but I am a true believer in the seasons, and it's not Christmas for me yet. It's not even Halloween. Halloween's not even happened. I mean, I think it's today that's Halloween. So I want a few more weeks of enjoying my decorations. Maybe mid to late November, that might be when I start, because I want to make the most out of the colours and enjoying autumn for what it is, rather than rush into the next season. How old are you? So I am 26 and I'm going to be 27 next Sunday, so the Sunday after the video that you're watching now. And it's bizarre to say those words. The other day, I don't know if you guys get this, but I forget how old I am, and I constantly have to ask Dom how old I am or put it into Google to try and figure it out. It's not relevant to me anymore. I think when you've had those big milestone birthdays, it just becomes a thing that's just like, cool, okay, another year. Glad to be here, you know, glad to have had another year, but days just fly by, right? So yeah, thinking that I'm nearly 30 is like, wow, because I used to think 30 was so old, and now I really, you having fun? I don't think it's old at all, so it's just cool. I'm excited to be 30. I feel like when I'm 30 I'm going to be much more wise. I'll have more years on my back, and I do, at this point in my life, I'm embracing aging, and I do like it for what it is. How do you cope with feeling lonely despite almost never being alone? This is a really good question, and when this happens, which it does for us all at some point, it's so important to just sit with yourself and say, why am I lonely? And not blaming other people for your loneliness, but blaming yourself in a way, because it's like, why are these feelings coming up? What's happened in my life? Has a relationship broken down? Are your expectations too high? I was listening to a podcast recently that said about that in relationships, you know, even friendships. If you've got unrealistic expectations of what someone else wants to do or has to do for you, and they don't meet those expectations, it's just a recipe for unhappiness. So feeling lonely could be because you're setting too high expectations on friendships and people and loved ones, and not actually telling them, you're not communicating that to them, that you need that thing, you know, you need that from them basically. And the way around that would be to kind of set some boundaries and explain to people what you want more of, that you are feeling alone, and reach out to people who you love when you are feeling like that. But I do think a lot of the time it can just be sort of an inner time, you know. I feel lonely at different parts of my cycle, so knowing that that's going to come up and knowing those feelings are going to come up, it's good to know, so you can reflect on that and say, oh, that's probably the reason why I'm feeling like that. I'm just a bit emotional today, feeling a bit like feeling a bit today, I think is the thing there. Okay, I'm just going to do a few more questions because this is cracking on and I don't want the video to be too long. What came first, your YouTube or your Etsy business? Hope you're well. So my YouTube started first, and then I think about 6 months in, I started my own Etsy store. The first one, which is Luana Creations, which is where I hand make necklaces, and so does Dom, with crystals. And then just in the last lockdown, in fact, I think it's a year ago, a year and a half maybe, we started Luana Gemstones, which was because there was demand from the other store for us selling ethically sourced crystals, which was something people always asked about from the jewellery shop. So now I've got 2 Etsy stores, and that's how that all came about. Ooh, I like this. How do you plan your week/day? I would love to see vlogs by Etsy owner life. So I will definitely share more videos about that in the future, 100%. It's on my list, don't worry. What's your favourite thing and least favourite thing about being self-employed? My favourite thing is not having to go to work, not having anybody else that I'm accountable to, not having to have forced relationships with people I've got nothing in common with. I don't miss that at all. I made some great friendships and met some great people along my working life, but there is those times where you just think, how have I got to give all this energy to these people when there's other people I would rather give that energy to? If you're an introvert or highly sensitive like me, it can feel quite overwhelming sometimes to have to step into shoes that aren't yours, especially in the work environment. So that's one of the things I really like. The thing I don't like is that I'm accountable to myself. It's something I'm really struggling with at the minute, is, you know, just pushing myself harder. It's very easy to become comfortable, especially when you're at home all the time, and I love my home. It's a very comfortable place to be, but it's also so easy to get stuck with that. So, you know, I just need to have more accountability, which is a good thing, and I'm going to outsource that too, so that I am actually accountable to my health, life and business goals, because that is one of the struggles most people have. It's getting up an hour later than you were supposed to, and often we'll be in bed at 8 o'clock and I'll say, "You're late for work, Dom." "We're late for work." "You're still in bed. What are you doing?" Because it's true, you know, if you had to physically go to a job and check in or you won't get paid, there's no way you'd still be in bed. So yeah, they're probably my biggest struggles, but that definitely doesn't outweigh how much I love being self-employed, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I just filmed an entire outro to nobody because it didn't record. I think that pretty much sums up this video, really. Dom's just having a laughing fit in the corner. Oh, goodness me. Right, well, I'll take that as my cue. My battery died, then I forgot to press record. There are so many more amazing questions on Instagram, so thank you all for sending them in. It makes sense, I guess, that there are more questions than usual because there are more of you here. There's more new people, and I really love that. I love talking to you guys, letting you know about my life, and Rory's kicking off because he's hungry, so I'm gonna take this little guy. We're gonna go get him some grub because he's a hungry hippo. He's doing lots of growing, aren't you? But yeah, I think that's gonna end this video. I'm pretty tired. Rory's very hungry, and yeah, I've had a nice afternoon in the end, and I'm so happy that we made this video. It's been a hard video to get to make this week. Every time I've tried to film, something's come up, something's got in the way, and I've had to keep pushing it back. And I said today's the day, no matter what. Yesterday I put on Instagram I was struggling with my just being tired and overwhelmed. When I'm feeling overwhelmed, I just kind of tune out, and that was something I did yesterday. I just put it to bed and I said, you know what, it's not happening. It's not the vibe I want to give to my YouTube channel, to all of you out there who get so excited to watch these videos. And so I put it off till today, drank loads of water, and I feel so much better today, and I'm just so happy that I decided to do that. Sometimes you have to follow your inner voice, and you just know when it's not the right time, and I'm glad that I did that. So yeah, I hope you get to do all of the fun things today. I hope you get to make your own pumpkin if you haven't already. And yeah, if not, I hope it's reminded you how fun they are. I'm so happy with this little cat. How cute is he? He's so cute. Dom's is amazing. He wanted like a really angry, grumpy pumpkin, and I think he just nailed it. So I'm excited to put those outside yesterday. You can tell it's getting late. I'm excited to put them outside. I'm gonna put them in the alleyway. I think I might have already mentioned this, and put some sweets out for the neighbourhood kids because we can't open the door because of the cats. But yes. Anyway, thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this shambles of a video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I've got loads more autumny cozy videos coming your way, and I will see you all in my next video.
Don't need an answer, just some kind of reply.